This episode may contain strong language, adult themes, and sensitive content. The views expressed are ours alone. Please proceed with your own discretion.
Soundstripe.
I'm Meg. Oh, they're starting. Hi, Meg.
Hi, I'm Teresa, and welcome to our podcast, From Teens to
From
Prosecco
teens to Prosecco Queens.
Oh
my God.
everybody. So, I guess you can say we're back. You know, we're hoping to do it monthly, but at this point we're getting quarterly, and that's okay as well. You know, our lives get in the way, and we're talking to each other, and we talk to each other very often, but recording takes some time. So I'm so happy to be sitting with my girl, my lifer, one of my best friends in the whole world, and actually seeing her face. And Megan, what are we talking about today?
Today is in part 2 of our nostalgia series. We're going to be looking back in the past, present, and looking forward to the future, being that we're almost in the new year.
2023. Can you believe that?
No.
It's weird, right? Because think about, everybody, we've told our history before about how we've known each other since we're 15. That was like 98. And to think,
No.
and to think that in 1998, we were like 2023. That number didn't even ring true in my brain as a number that we would see. And girl, we're going to be 40 this year.
I'm not. Nope, I'm not.
You still got a little longer than me, so it's okay. But it's weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, my mom will look at me and say 40 is really young still. And I'm like, I get that. I get that in the grand scheme of things. Yes.
It is.
But, you know, it's, looking back as we talk about nostalgia, I'm not exactly in the place I wanted to be at this age by any means. You know, like I didn't know where I wanted to be, but probably not where I've been, especially after the past couple of years. And, it's kind of weird when you think about it like that. So when you hear that number, it seems like such an astronomical number to me because I don't know how I got here. Thank God that we got here. Some people never did. Some people didn't. But it's really crazy to me.
Well, I don't feel like I'm going to be that age, but.
And girl, I'm sorry.
I was in college.
And I don't think that we look like we're going to be that age. Let's just cut to the chase. There are some people that look older. They're at that age or they're younger. I feel like 40 is very different now than it was back in the day.
I need to start getting Botox right here.
I do not need Botox. Girl, please.
My lines.
maybe some eye cream, but we all need eye cream, right? Like, forget it.
Listen,
if I got a good solid 8 hours sleep a night, I wouldn't need any eye cream at all. So that's where my issue lies. Is, you know, I'm a night owl, unfortunately. So
I need to get that mask. The mask that's like infrared.
Oh, the light masks. They're great.
That's what I'm gonna buy.
They're great. They're definitely really good. You know, anything that keep us tight, right? So what you guys listening may not know, right now is the first time we're talking on Zoom. We're doing this via Zoom. So what I will post are like little pieces of it on IG as well. Before I actually would put up the podcast, but we're hoping, or my plan is to have this before New Year's because we want to be able to start the new year with a good episode. And I know that our last episode at the very end, we talked about how we were going to talk about wellness this particular episode, but we discussed that being the fact that our last episode, we talked about so many movies and we didn't really touch a lot on like music, right? We did Backstreet Boys because that's who we are. Like, we love our boys. Our big ass grown men now, right? But I think that there's so much more music wise we could talk about, as well as, again, we wanted to touch on this past year, in our lives, and, you know, if it was what we thought it was going to be, or if it just was a regular year, as well as what we might think is what we want, or what we might think for the coming year as well. I give a little.
There's a regular year on crack.
Girl, crack would sound real good right now after for my year.
Oh, I did find the LED a light therapy mask at Shopper Image for $130.
I don't even know if that's a good deal or not, so I'll just take your word for it.
I don't know either.
I've had a facial where they use it, and I thought that was really cool. Yeah, that was really cool.
I need to look into this.
Yeah, but
I need to find.
I hear those are really good. People love them. So
I need the fountain of youth.
I think we still have some time. So I'm wondering, Meghan, thinking back over the past year, thinking back maybe over the past couple of years, thinking back to even back in the 80s and 90s when we originally started with this series, for yourself, did it turn out the way that you maybe you didn't expect anything, right? Maybe you were just kind of going at the seat of your pants, right? Or some people are just saying, screw it, I'm just going through and I'm gonna live it every day and that's it. But based on, if you can look back, what did it feel like to you? Like, what did the time feel like to you?
It went really fast this year. I mean, I had a lot going on personally. It didn't pan out the way I wanted it to, but I definitely learned a lot and looking forward to next year and we'll see what happens.
Well, in what way that you can share did it not pan out the way you thought? Or that you want to share?
Well, let's see. I did get promoted at my real job, so that was good.
That's good. Yeah.
That's good. But we'll see. We'll see if it turns out to be what I thought it was going to be. Or figure it out.
I think that's true. And you got a very nice little stable home life, which is nice as well to have that support. That's always nice. Yeah.
Nice. I also don't have kids, so that's huge. That's the huge part of my sanity.
You are correct, and you're the reason you're able to sleep all night too.
I can sleep. I can come and go as I please. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. No, agreed.
Definitely take advantage.
Agreed. I think for me, I thought with the pandemic that was traumatic enough for all of us, right? And regardless of how we all handled it, whether it was some of us drinking more than others, and I say some of us, I wasn't actually one of them, to be honest with you. I was still working, but working from home, and the kids, in school from home, and my husband at home, and everything else. But yeah, I think I was telling you earlier, this past year, if I could wake up and most of this past year was a dream, that would be ideal, for me, maybe in a future episode, if I'm a little more comfortable going into detail, I would. But although my husband, weirdly enough, told me that if I wanted to share it, I could tell. And I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna go there, but not yet. But Meghan knows I've had a very traumatic year. And only certain people very, very close to me know details of that. And it's changed me, I really believe, on a cellular level, of who I am, probably down to my DNA. And I think I think when I look back now as I look back to it and I continue to go through it. And by the way, if you hear that's Megan's hubby in the background.
Dude, can you hear him?
Yes.
He's making me laugh.
So I think for me, the biggest takeaway of how traumatic this year was one, well, the biggest takeaways, one, you can't control people. You cannot control everything in your surroundings. And realistically, not that I ever thought that I could, but I'm a very type A personality. Meghan, you're a very type A personality.
You can't control other people's actions.
You can't. And you can't control other people's hearts and minds, and and it doesn't matter how much you do for people, they're gonna be who they are. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. They're gonna be who they are, and it's that's the first thing that I learned. I learned that you can't control every situation. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't. I also learned it's okay to show when you're not okay. We were raised, and you can attest to this too, because we talked about this in probably our first episode. We were raised not really to show emotions, right? We were raised with parents that didn't show emotions. We were raised that if you cried, okay, well, to keep crying will make you cry more, or whatever the case may be. And I've learned that I don't do that to my kids. You know what I mean? They see when I'm upset, and I try not to do it all the time, but I don't hide it either because I want them to know mommy's
Yeah.
human, and that things hurt mommy and things, life doesn't always work out the way we expect it to work out. And I think so. There's a few different, and also that people will come and go in and out of your life.
Yeah, and I also think like people come in your lives or leave your life as like when you need it, because that's what I've noticed where there's a lot of people that let's say you wouldn't normally be friends with, or you're just going through the same thing, or you have the same hobbies or the same interests or like whatever, that there's certain people that come into your life at the time that you need them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really true. And it's like, and it doesn't mean that people don't come and go. It doesn't mean that people don't stay. There's so many different facets of it, right? With the human
Yeah.
experience. And it's so crazy. And then I think about, again, our relationship, right? Like we can speak every day
Hmm.
for like weeks, or we can go like 3 months and be like, oh, I haven't spoken to Megan. How's she doing?
Yeah.
Right. But we've known each other since we're 15. And it's still like we pick up like, like we never left off,
Yeah.
or we pick up like if we, you know what I mean, right? Um, it's really interesting how that works. So 2023 for me, I'm empowering myself, I think. I'm finally going to take back the power of myself. I feel like so much of my power has been stripped this year, and that's hard to kind of take back, but you have to do it. You have to know that, since you can't control other people, other people's behaviors, other people's reactions to your reaction. I've learned that as well. Man, people will piss you off, but the second you stand up for yourself, all of a sudden you're difficult, right? Like all of a sudden you're the problem. And I'm like, you know what? Screw you if you can't handle the fact that you're the problem. You know what I mean? Like that's the part
Yeah.
that I'm getting so closer to. I'm learning boundaries, Boundaries are huge. Me and you have talked about boundaries before with our families, with our friends, with in-laws, with coworkers.
Oh
Learning
yeah.
how to have those boundaries is so hard, but it is essential to mental health and to moving on and healing ourselves from past traumas too. Because for me, this year feels like it's just been a culmination of decades of trauma on top of decades of trauma. And it's all about trying to empower yourself and get that power back. And I think in general, us as women, we need to do that no matter what our trauma was in life, and that's why I know you haven't always had it easy as well by any means. And people may look at Meghan because, she looks like the quintessential person that would have no problems. But
It's true.
it's
I
true.
don't show emotion.
That's a huge part of it, right? But that's not the case. Like you have had, severe stuff happen in your life, and you've had traumatic events, and some recently as well. So I think that it's really important. So I'm declaring 2023, putting it out there in the universe, manifesting for both of us. Megan doesn't really believe this, but I'm going to give it to her anyway. He
I
does.
believe in karma. I just don't believe in
Yes,
any
which
of
is why I'm going to take the fall for you, and I'm going to say 2023, the best is yet to be. What do you think?
I say that every year. I mean, I definitely want to travel more next year. We'll see.
There you go. Put it out there.
I always want to travel though.
Yeah, and we could tell our listeners, don't forget, not everybody believes it, sure. Manifestation is real. You put out what you get back. When you talk negatively and you have negative self-talk, especially, it's going to hinder your ability to bring anything positive, and it's a known thing. We are energy, right? We are energy. And that doesn't mean that bad things don't happen to good people. Hello. But it doesn't mean that. It just means that, you know, understanding that the world is going to keep going regardless of how you react to it. You just have to try to take everything in stride and hope for the best.
That's true. Going back to bring your own energy. I take this class on Peloton with this one instructor, and that's her thing. Bring your own energy. That's her
Yeah.
tagline. Like she's so annoying, but I like her.
I
Like I would be
love
like,
that.
I don't know if I'd be friends with her. Like she's blonde, she's like super bubbly, and I'm like alternative.
Uh,
Just like
yes. You're like
sometimes
Daria.
I'm like Yeah, I'm exactly like Daria. I was Daria for Halloween.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And I get it.
Um,
I get it. Yeah.
like, she's too bubbly. But I love her classes. Like, they're great. But sometimes I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
I could see that though. There are people that eventually, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, there are some people that I sit there and go, come on, you are not like this 24/7. Like, there's
I
gotta
mean,
be,
she's cute, she's cute, but I'm just like, what the hell? Give me some of your uppers. Oh my god.
I always say that too. I laugh because my boss, it didn't matter. My boss every day would be like that. Like every day, even on Mondays, he'd be like, hey guys. And I'd be like, what are you on? Because I need it. Like whatever, whatever you're
Oh,
on.
I send my team pictures of Garfield. So that's me.
That's you. I never would have thought of that, but yes. Oh, that is you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like, please don't call me. Call me in an hour.
Like, I have had no coffee yet, no nothing yet, so it's really, this whole, the whole thing is just great. I don't know. It's so crazy, and I don't know. I think really now that I'm thinking about it, all of this stuff, we wanted to talk about, okay, wellness and health, right? And we were going to talk about nostalgia and we're talking about the new year. So much of that comes together.
Well, music ties into that because music can change your mood.
Hell yeah. And that's why to this day, and you can completely appreciate this because I know you're exactly the same way. There's
Music
nothing.
and fitness.
That's right.
Together.
That's right. And there's nothing like our old school music. We've talked about this the last one. We said it. We don't have to necessarily go into that again, but we talked about how when I'm feeling any type of way, I have music I can go to either make me feel better or let me sit in that pain or that feeling I need to sit in for a little bit and then move on and keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I need all like the emo feels. Oh, that's the one other thing I want to do next year is get back into Zumba possibly.
I was going to ask you. That was my next
I
question.
don't know. After I have to find somewhere to do it. I'm not going to do it somewhere just to do it. I have to be in the mood to dedicate to it. It's just not. I don't feel like doing it right now.
I don't know if we've mentioned to our listeners that Meghan is a certified Zumba instructor for years now.
It's not hard to get certified.
Doesn't matter.
But there's some people that are certified that shouldn't have no business doing it.
That's facts. That is facts. And I'll tell you what though, Meghan, I've taken her class for years, but even before Meghan was an instructor, we took classes together for years. I think I remember starting Zumba when it came out on the VHS tapes that I would do in my basement when I was like 17. And then me and Meghan would take classes together in our 20s in the gym. And I was going to with Meghan probably 10 years ago, I think. So close to maybe 8. No, maybe not 10. Close, a little less than a decade. We were going to take the certification class together and I just couldn't afford it at the time. And Meghan went through with it.
They're certified in 2015. And then I got my own class. And then the pandemic happened. And then I took classes like here and there, but then my gym closed.
But let me tell you guys, Meghan, not just being one of my best friends, not just knowing her as I know her, she is a fantastic instructor. Like, I do wish that she can.
Surprisingly.
I'm not surprised. Girl, let me tell y'all, I ain't surprised. I seen her in the clubs when we was teenagers. I ain't surprised she got a little groove thing to her. So
it's upon a time.
So I would love, again, for Meghan. I always said I wish Meghan would do a live class that, a bunch of us could join in and maybe one day do it too.
One day, maybe. We'll see.
But yeah,
maybe when it gets nice out.
Yeah, but she's an amazing instructor. Like, she really is. And I also think maybe one day, maybe do like a Zumba YouTube live or something. And then, you can do something like that. People do that as well. They do a lot of them live on YouTube.
I don't like doing that. You need a whole thing. And it's a pain. I've done it. It's a pain in the ass to do. Because it's hard. You can't like really see. And it's like, I don't like doing it. I've done it like twice. Like early on in the pandemic.
In the pandemic.
With Zoe, it's hard to hear the music. There's a lag. It's just not.
And
I don't like doing it.
And honestly, it's true. There's nothing like being there, experiencing.
It's like,
oh yeah,
I don't know. Like, I get it. Some people do it. It works, but I won't do it.
And I'm going to tell everybody, I am so picky about my Zumba classes. Like I'm very picky about something. Like I have someone to tell me, oh yeah, no, this instructor is good. Or this instructor is good, check it out. You know what I'm saying? Like for me to just walk into the gym we have now and just, I see them doing Zumba and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it. And then, and I'll just kind of watch and I'll listen to the music. The music matters, right? Like all of that makes a difference in it. All of that makes a difference. And I'll say because you have such a eclectic music taste, your whole style of Zumba is very different than others as well. It's not just Latin music. Yours is an eclectic brand of all kinds of different music, and that makes it so much better as well, I think.
Yeah. I prefer to do like world music versus just like flat, like straight out Latin.
Exactly.
I get bored with stuff really fast too.
So what's interesting is that on my phone, I have an app called Motivation, right? And during the day, it sends me quotes and all kinds of stuff, positive shit or just shit that sometimes, you need to see, right? But what's funny is that we're talking about all this transformation and we're talking about being healthy and working out and everything else. And it's a quote from Schitt's Creek from David Rose. And it says, I think one of the most, right? It says, I think one of the most important attributes is perseverance. And I thought that fits in so well, right? Like I think when people become complacent, that's when shit hits the fan. I think the whole point of life is to persevere and try to do as best as you can and keep going. What about you?
The only thing you can do is move forward regardless of what obstacles you run into, or when you fall on your face, you got to stand up and move on.
Yeah. One thing Meghan and I will be discussing at the end, last episode we did trivia, but this time we're going to look at our 2023 horoscopes for our signs and kind of just see if, again, we know Meghan doesn't really believe in that stuff. And I don't know that I believe in it 100%, but I do like to use it as a kind of like, a roadmap to kind of have an idea. Cause sometimes they're spot on, other times there's ridiculous, right? But just to kind of get an idea to see what we're looking towards. So Meghan, we were talking about music, right? And how it can bring us back to a time that makes us feel better, a time that makes us feel worse. Music might bring us back to something that happened in the past. So what, other than, again, Backstreet Boys, because we've talked about that. We know how we feel about them. But
we've been beating a dead horse with that. We need to move on.
For you, back in the day, what was some, and again, I know a lot of it with you too, because we had a lot of the same, but we also have very different tastes in certain music. So like, what are some of the things that you may still listen to or that you listened to back then that really either did something for you or just made you happy or made you feel any type of way?
I would have to go with Justin Timberlake. The first album.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that's a good one.
I don't even know what year was that?
I want to say maybe 2000.
Is it really 2000?
I don't know. It's a good trivia question, right?
No, it is. Let's see. Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, maybe 2000, maybe 2002. No, I think 2009 or 2001.
1999? No. Oh, 2002. November 5th, 2002.
See?
It's like when I hear Senorita or just,
oh yeah,
it just brings me back to college.
Oh my god. Or college, or was it What Goes Around Comes Around on that one too?
Yes. Woo! And my other favorite album of his, because I think his older stuff is better, is Future Sex Love Sounds, when he was dating Cameron Diaz.
Well, I just cannot stand the first single off of that album. Still to this day. The one where
really?
Sexy Back. That was on it, right? That was the because it just didn't sound like it to me. It just to this day, weirdly enough, I'll sing it.
Yeah.
But that album was fire. Yes, it really was. Oh my god.
So good. I can't believe you just used fire.
I did it again.
No.
I did it last time also.
No.
You know what? Oh, you know what it is? Again, it's when you're typing stuff and you use fire, it comes out. Again, I live with a kid. I live with a baby boy now who's obsessed with Fortnite. So he'll randomly be
What
like,
is
"Oh,
Fortnite?
mom, this is fire." Oh, Fortnite. Oh, for anybody who's listening, y'all know what Fortnite is. It is a fantasy game for, it's a video game. It's like a fantasy game. And you go around, you land in different areas, and you basically fight and kill people. While you're doing it, you have like these different skins or characters that you put on, and different kinds of weapons, and you win all kinds of things. It's so, but I have a 6-year-old who's obsessed right now, and he's so damn good. Like, he's so damn good. Like, I watch his little teeny tiny hands on this giant thing, this controller, and I'm just like, come on, really? But like, he's so good. We don't let him use the headphones and talk to people because I don't want no one talking to him. But it's funny because he will sit with YouTube in front of him on his tablet where he's watching people play, and he learns glitches and he learns how to do all this crazy crap. So it's really weird. So it's like, yeah, so fire happens a lot in my house, and it comes out when I least expect it. Apparently, that's what happens.
Oh my gosh.
That's what happens. Oh my god. Yeah. You don't have the same affliction inside your house.
No. Definitely not.
There is an album that I go to. There's a few of them, obviously, but there's an album I go to that I still think, and people can argue with me if they want to, that is one of my favorites and one of the best of the 90s, if not fantastic of all times, is Supernatural by Santana.
Oh, that was good with Smooth with Rob Thomas.
Oh, yep, with Smooth. I mean, with Maria. We had Lauryn Hill. It had Rob Thomas. It had Eagle Eye Cherry. Like, this whole album is beyond. Like, it is amazing. And if no one has heard it or seen it, I implore you right now, go get it. Get it on iTunes. I just told my daughter the other day, and there are some instrumentals on it. And I will put this CD or album or play it on iTunes, whatever we do now, on, and just some of the instrumentals alone, I'll just sit back and be like, damn, it'll take me back to that time, because it is a fantastic album. It is just one of the best. And Santana is amazing anyway, it always has been. But oh my god,
I love Rob Thomas with him is so good. Like, that's what I like too.
Rob Thomas is great.
20.
Yep, Matchbox 20 was fantastic. Yes.
He's had so many really good collaborations. Like amongst different genres. Like, he's definitely one. Even still, I think now he does like a lot of TV production and that type of thing. But he's just very talented, and he's a very eclectic artist, I think.
He just did one I saw on The View the other day with this older. She's this older singer. Her name is Darlene Love. And back in the 60s, she did, they call her like the Queen of Christmas. I know Mariah Carey kind of seemed to take over that with All I Want for Christmas Is You. But it's something, I forgot, something Christmas song that came out in the 60s she sang. And it's one of the biggest Christmas songs still.
Is it Baby It's Cold Outside? Is that right?
No, it's not that one. It's something Christmas. I forgot. If you look
Christmas
up
Baby Please Come Home.
Yes. Christmas Baby Please Come Home. Yes. And she's still performing this, and Rob Thomas was just on The View singing it with her. Like, they did a collab for her new Christmas album as well. Speaking of Rob Thomas, this was last week. I was just watching him on The View, and I haven't seen him for like 10 years. Yeah, she is. Yeah, very nice for a very beautiful older lady. And so
she was in the Ronettes. The Ronettes?
Is she? See, you learn something new every day. I had no idea. I just knew her name, so there you go. So yeah, Rob Thomas is amazing. I laugh. I think of Mark McGrath. Remember that Mark McGrath was huge back then in those Sugar Ray. Yeah, Sugar Ray in that whole genre, right? But one thing we didn't talk about a lot, two things last time, was the female music influences of the 90s.
Mariah Carey.
Yeah, and we touched on it, but I realized we talked about Selena, right? That's great. I forgot TLC. Salt and Pepper. I mean, there was TLC, Salt and Pepper. There was
and Vogue.
We're talking Jade. Again, the list.
There's another one that was with Bad Boy Records. Total
was huge. Faith Evans. I mean, like, we can keep the amount of girl groups. There was Queen Latifah. There was MC Lyte, which was huge, and she's freaking beautiful and phenomenal, Queen Latifah. There's MC Lyte. There were people. Please send us again, like
Little Kim,
Lil Kim, Foxy Brown,
Christina Aguilera,
Foxy Brown. I mean, and it was every genre, right? It wasn't just like, okay, one was here, one was there. They were badass in every single genre. Look at country pop. We had Shania Twain, right? She was huge in the 90s. Carrie Underwood came up early 2000s?
Black. Oh, remember that? Bring It On to
Black.
Me with
Bring It On with NSYNC.
No, JC Chazé.
JC Chazé.
From NSYNC.
From NSYNC. Exactly. And it goes on and on. I was thinking again about
3LW.
3LW. Man,
Remember
they were a little younger than us. 3LW.
Oh, Danity Kane, I like them. They were super slutty.
What? Well, because you hit the nail on the head.
Destiny's Child, yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Destiny's Child, because
Beyonce.
But Destiny's
Child. She's in a category all on her own.
Exactly, but Destiny's Child, they were so phenomenal as a group, like phenomenal. Again, like I say with TLC, let me tell you, 1994's Red Light Special. Crazy, Sexy, Cool. I still am again like crazy.
That was a great album.
That album to this day is one of the best probably ever created. It is just fantastic. And it holds true still to this day, that entire album. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Wonderful. I mean, I feel like a lot, even though I feel like a lot of artists, so like their first album is their best album. I mean, even like switching gears, even like Usher, like that, like Nice and Slow.
Usher,
oh my god.
Let me tell you, Usher back in the day,
like R&B is not what it used to be. Because I mean, like Babyface, I mean he's written so many songs. Brian McKnight, it's just
Drew Hill, Joe,
Drew Hill, Cisco.
Oh my god, like Jodeci.
Oh yeah.
There are so many of them. They're just it's not Boyz II Men. We didn't even talk about Boyz II Men last time. Listen. I was insulted.
John Stockman, yeah.
I was insulted at myself when we got off last time. I said, "How did we not mention Boyz II Men?"
Do you know what I heard like a week ago when I was driving to the store? I heard I heard Bobby Brown's like humping around.
Oh. And you know what? Bobby Brown's old shit is fire. I said it. Okay.
Like his voice, I just couldn't. It was too like, I don't know.
I loved old.
Velvet DeVoe only had like one song.
They had and Tevin Campbell was another one.
Oh yeah.
Tevin Campbell and Genuine. Although,
yeah.
You see videos now of Genuine, and it's like, Poppy, please stop. It's like you can still sing some of that other stuff. Maybe slow it down a notch. It's a little much for me now. But there's so many influences that we had growing up, and to this day, like I said, I put that on a pedestal, right? Like I put that music on a pedestal just because you know what it is? I know what I need for the time that I need it. Right? Like
when you're in a rage, you need like thrice or like heavy.
And right. I had on Avril Lavigne the other day, Meg.
I really shouldn't laugh because I don't like her pop stuff, but like her slower songs are actually they're good.
Yes. I literally had her on the other day, and I was like, oh my god, this song is like touching me right now. Like I needed this right now. So there's
she's a good song. She is a good songwriter.
Yeah. And when I think back to I look at some of the singers now, I'm like, oh, she was a really good singer too. Like she has going for her. We saw her. Do you remember?
Yeah, with the Backstreet Boys.
I went to see Boyz II Men, me and my sister, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did. We saw them at NJ Pack, and they were fantastic. They really, really were. The place was damn near sold out. They put on a whole it was an hour and a half of a show.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was and it was like boom, 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 hour and a half. Like we've been to concerts where they bullshit for like a while. No, you can tell they were like, we getting through this. Like, you
know who else we didn't talk about? Janet Jackson, Brandy and Monica.
Thank you.
Oh, remember So For Real? So For Real, Candy Rain.
Okay. Then there's All For One.
Toni Braxton.
And then there's All For One from I Swear and I Can Love You Like That.
Color Me Bad or Ghost Town DJs.
Let me tell you, Color Me Bad. I was like, 10 years old talking about I Want to Sex You Up. And
oh my god!
Now
I had the single from Sam Goody.
Now if my kids were singing, I'd be like, "Oh, sing it down us." But I was a kid singing all these songs, right? And you're like,
Mary J. Blige.
Oh my god, the list keeps going. They're so fantastic, and all of them are still relevant today.
They are, because you tell me, could you even name any R&B singers now? I couldn't.
I'm sure I'm sure they're out there. I really am. However, I don't know that they have the same impact, or that they have the same
No,
impact
no, no.
as the ones that we're used to and the ones we were growing up with. I definitely don't. I think that I'm sure they have, I'm sure there's great ones. I'm sure there's great ones out there, but it's just very different now. I think the whole impact is very different. When
SZA, who is that? SZA.
SZA, she's a
Oh,
female.
is that how
Yeah,
you
yeah,
say
yeah,
that?
SZA. Yeah. Um, you said SZA, right? Yeah, that's SZA.
Yeah.
And that's
There's
the thing.
another one too.
That's the thing. We have so many. I mean, like, I like Lizzo now. She's not necessarily R&B. I don't really know what she's considered, if she's considered pop or
I
whatever.
would say she's pop.
Yeah, but I love, because she plays the flute. She's a flautist, and she plays the flute.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. You know what I mean? She's not even like a singer. She said herself. She plays her flute, and it just became a thing. And I think she's great. She's really good, and her music is good. So there's so many. There's so much out there now that even I'm not necessarily aware of, but I still look back, because it's easy to look back while you're looking forward.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like a lot of what I went through back in the day, up till probably this morning, will help me, going forward. And I don't think there's anything wrong with feeling nostalgic and wanting that feeling of what we thought were simpler times, right? When I look back at what I weighed in my body,
they were simpler. They were simpler
like,
times.
what? Like, I wish, right? They were simpler.
But also we also didn't have all these means of communication or
depressing,
or apps, like all that, all those types of things either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad we didn't have any of that stuff,
girl. Although I was telling Natalie, and y'all are gonna find this really funny. Meghan and I, and listen, first of all, it was normal. This is what girls did, guys did it too. We had like photo shoots, with our disposable cameras and everything else. And then I was thinking about today, I was telling my daughter about that, and I was like, oh my God, we're worried about things being online today. Imagine the creepers who were developing these films.
But even now, like I get
developing these films and looking at them as they came through, of young girls. And the way you to think about that, didn't you?
No, but now I am. But even now though, like I don't get like dirty pictures developed, but I mean, like, when I send pictures from vacation or something, people are looking at them, right? Because they're printing them out.
Exactly. Oh my God, that's so crazy.
They were, they are. I mean, even like, our digital footprints, you don't know who's looking at that stuff.
Very true. Oh my God. We were talking about dance hall. Dance hall was one of my favorites.
Oh yeah,
Demas and the Pliers. There was Buju Banton. There was Sasha. There was Diana King, Sean Paul. I don't know if Shaggy's considered dance hall, if I'm not quite sure, but based on yes, he was a crossover. That's why, because he was a little, he had some stuff too. And freestyle. We forgot freestyle. I mean, like, hello.
I don't know what freestyle is.
See, thank you. I was going to ask you, because growing up in New York, freestyle was huge.
I have no idea what that is.
And I was going to ask you if in Jersey they had it. I can't, honestly.
I don't even know what that is.
I can't even explain it to you. When we're done here, look it up and listen to it. Because unfortunately, because of licensing, we can't actually play any of it, which kind of sucks. I would love to, play some of it. But realistically, look it up. And anybody, you guys who grew up in that area, know freestyle, send it to Meghan. She'll know. Once she hears it, she'll know. I can't even explain it, to be honest with you. Like, that's what's even funny about it. So.
I don't even know what it is. I don't know.
So, Meg, we've talked a lot about what we went through, what we hope for, and what we've learned. And so I think to end this podcast and to hopefully a prosperous 2023 and healthy and blessed, I said it, Meghan, and blessed new year. We want to end this podcast with our horoscopes, and I'll start with mine. So for a Pisces, I'm a Pisces. I'm March 10th. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll just give you all just an idea. 2023 is not a bad year for Pisces as a whole, especially in the first half of the year. No matter what you do, it will be exceptionally smooth. But you also can make many like-minded good friends. Pisces will get a lot of new opportunities in 2023 and will continue to get promoted and raised. It's great. Pisces will make a lot of money in 23, but it comes with some risks. Well, wouldn't it? Pisces will encounter some emotional problems in 2023. That's not shocking because 2022 was a doozy. You will eventually have a peaceful love and marriage life. That's all I ask for. And my health horoscope. Pisces will be in good health in 23 and will not be hit by severe illnesses, but minor ailments will be unavoidable. This year, we should pay attention to body maintenance. And to close that off, that is something that I've been paying attention to because, when you are stressed and you are emotionally drained, your body goes with that, right? So it's about trying to get your body and your mind centered and get it right. What about you, Megan? Anything for Gemini?
Oh, I found a really long one. Here we go. Says, although this season tends to be super social and full of the exact level of travel and to-dos you thrive on, it's probably been a bit sleepier this year. I beg to differ. After all, you're kicking off 2023 with your ruler messenger Mercury moving backward through your intimacy sector and throwing your focus on pretty heavy matters of the heart. You've been asking yourself what makes you comfortable within your closest bond and how you can continue or even better nurture whatever that is. Interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Like I said, we can just try as hard as we can to put that positive energy out there and hope for the best, right? Because that's really all we can do. We can just take one foot, one step at a time and take care of ourselves. Everybody take care of yourself. Remember that out there. It's important. Take care of your soul, your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions. Don't be afraid to reach out when you need it. If anything, we've noticed that people don't reach out when they're feeling any type of way. And that's just, headed for disaster. And there's
put yourself first.
Yeah. Put yourself first. Take care of yourself. Don't let people drain the crap out of you because people are drained. And it doesn't matter if they're family, friends, if it's a toxic relationship, take care of that shit. Put yourself first and learn how to do that. And to me, I feel like I'm preaching from the choir, but that's something that I'm working on myself, and don't let people drain your energy because it's just, you'll be the one to get sick off of it before somebody else does.
Well, also, if you also take care of yourself and better yourself, it will trickle out eventually.
Oh my God. We're so correct. Yeah, you are so correct. It's that same idea that positive attracts positive, right? It's that same shit. When you're around someone who's just got dark, negative energy and aura, you can feel that shit. They're called energy suckers, and it's a real thing. And I think that.
I wonder if I'm an energy sucker.
You can be.
Probably agree.
You can be. What? Here's the thing, though. So can I.
Everybody is an energy sucker, though.
This past year, I told my cousin, I said, I don't think I'm very good company at times this year because what I've gone through, I feel like sometimes it becomes just this thing where I'm just spewing it because I'm just not thinking about it. It's just because it's like when you have no one to talk to about certain things, sometimes you try to get it out and you don't realize, right? And that becomes, then I feel afterwards, holy shit, did I just suck the life out of somebody with this shit, right? And you can, but if you have a really solid foundation of people that care for you, that's what they're there for, right? So to sit there and feel you and listen to that, and that's what's really important. And I wish that for you, Megan, because I love you. And I wish that for all of our listeners, friends, family, everybody, for a happy and prosperous new year.
Counting down the days.
Right?
2022 is bye-bye.
So everybody, don't forget to follow us on IG at Prosecco Queens Podcast and to share with your friends and family. And we would love for you to send us emails regarding today's show, nostalgia of your own, any show ideas, and your thoughts at ProseccoQueensPodcast@gmail.com. And for show updates, follow us as well.
Tip your glass of 2023 with your Prosecco Queens.
Happy New Year, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah.